Like to learn some new styling tips for your short hair? Stay tuned. So today we're going to be working on short hair styling. Short hair styling can be a little bit challenging because you're dealing with your cowlicks are a little bit stronger because the hair is shorter, so they tend to be a bit more powerful. And also, I've worn my hair short, and from my clients, they feel like if they have too much product on the hair, their hair tends to not last through the day and it gets a little bit flat. So I thought I would do a video today on sharing my tips on how to create a short style that's going to last you all day. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you beforehand because I'm going to be blow drying and you won't be able to hear me, is the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you want to apply something to the hair to make it shiny, because shine is so important in the beauty of any hairstyle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some silkening oil drops to the hair, and I'm going to comb it through with a comb. Like I always say in my past videos, it's always very important to make sure that you comb through your product. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to blow dry the hair, and I'm going to use just a vent brush, just a simple vent brush, and I'm going to follow it and follow it around the head, and it's called wrapping. And what that means is that I'm going to be taking my blow dryer with the nozzle on it like this, and I'm going to be following my brush with my blow dryer, keeping in mind that I'm going down on the hair because we want to keep the shine in the hair. But I'm going to go back and forth on the head shape, and what that does is it creates a nice smooth finish, but also the head's round. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a nice round shape, but it's also going to smooth out the hair shaft. Then once I'm finished with that, then I'm going to put my product in when it's dry. I'm going to apply it from the scalp to ends, go back through with my round brush. Okay, so now we put a little bit of mousse through there. You can already see it's starting to give it a little bit of texture. When we use the silkening oil treatment or your oil drops, it creates a nice shine in the hair, but we also need to create some texture in the hair. Two things are going to happen. It's going to create more volume, but the most important thing is that the hair is going to attach itself to the brush, so I'm able to mold it and move it the way I want it to. And by applying it when it's dry, I'm able to get it wherever I apply it, wherever I put it, it's going to stay put because it's not wet. It's not going to drip down the hair shaft and be diluted. But I am going to, like I have with the previous products, I always tell you guys, make sure you comb the product through. It's also an important detail here as well, just to make sure that I've got a nice saturation all the way through. Now, I only used about, like I showed you in the palm of my hand, just a poof, maybe like a golf ball size, maybe a little bit smaller depending on the density of your hair. You just want enough to be able to apply to the hair and the hair absorb it. If you have a lot of excess on the hair and it feels goopy, then you know you've got too much. Okay, I'm going to use a round brush now and create some volume in the hair. One of the things I want you to take note of is that I do have my nozzle on my dryer and I am blowing it down on the hair again so I keep the shine. But I don't know if you're noticing when I'm blow drying, that hair just wants to attach itself to the brush. And that's when you know you have enough product on there, because if the hair doesn't want to attach itself, you're going to have a very difficult time having it to mold and to get that bend in the hair. And just a reminder as well, where you want volume, always think about where the hair is coming out from the scalp. Where you don't want volume, you want to keep the hair at the scalp closer. Where you do want volume, pull it up a little farther away from the head. I also want to share with you as well that being that the hair is dry, always remember your hot and cold properties. So when I'm blow drying this around the face, I'm using a nice hot dryer. And once I can see that the hair is molded and attached to the brush, I'm going to take my brush away. And because I don't want it to be too full around the face and get a Betty Boop curl, I'm going to take it out of the brush while it's still hot, and I'm just going to slightly brush it and comb it so it cools down in a softer position. So if you can remember that hot air moves it, the inside of the hair shaft looks like a linked chain, it opens it up and moves it in the position that you want. Cold air seals it. So I'm going to be blow drying this, taking my brush away, and you're going to see me rotate a little bit or brush on top, and that's because I'm trying to get it to set in a softer position. Now sometimes when we're finished blow drying, we might have a little bit more curl than we want, or maybe it doesn't look like it flows. This is a good time, again, using our hot and cold properties, going back in with a blow dryer on a high heat but a low speed, and going back through with your wrapping technique that we used when we were drying the hair with our vent brush. And it'll just soften up the curl a little bit and kind of blend it together. Okay, so you can see in this particular hairstyle, we've got a lot of shine, we've got some nice volume in the hair, we've got, it's smoother down here closer to her face, we've got balance in the hair. And the way we did that was we combed through some silkening oil treatment, which is your drops, we combed it through wet, then went through and blew dry with our vent brush by wrap drying it with our blow dryer that has a nozzle. And then once that hair was dry, we applied some mousse to the hair, applied it from the scalp out, and then combed it through again with our comb. And then we went through and we blew dry with our brush, remembering our hot and cold. Hot moves it, cold air seals it.